That is my next question there. That is, for us here in Algeria, for example, our textbooks, as you have noted before, are more or less uniform, especially in terms of culture and in terms of representation. So how can a teacher, uh, being well aware now of the diversity of the classroom first, because we have very diverse classrooms, how can a teacher in primary school, now that we have English in primary school, in middle school and in high school, how can she go beyond the textbook?
I like that in your imagination, a teacher is a woman. So
Mhm.
I really like that. So a teacher can, for example, work on the unit of family. If we take the unit of family, so family is not just mother, father, daughter, son, grandmother, and grandfather. A family could be an orphan who is in your classroom
Mm,
and who will be triggered with the unit of about
sure.
family. So before you go into the classroom, you have access to the book and you know your student, you know the family situation of your students. You have consulted yeah, and you know the Algerian society, you know that some children grow up with the aunties, other children grow up with the grandparents, some children don't have their fathers, some children have many mothers, which
Yeah,
would be, you know, the auntie, the sister, the cousin, the
yeah.
neighbor, and
The
everyone get
grandmother.
involved, to the grandmother as well.
Mm,
Everyone is involved. So the family unit or the family structure, culturally speaking, in the local setting is so diverse and complex. And
sure.
then your job is to teach the language so that the students speak about their own reality. So
Mm,
you, that student who is an orphan, they should be empowered to write a paragraph about their family
mm,
without feeling that they have to lie and imagine a mother and a father or imagine a life that is not
sure,
theirs, right?
sure.
Again, we sit on the side of kindness,
Mm,
and that's the philosophy behind it. So
yeah.
you can create an open-ended tree, a family tree that they can draw from, and then you
Mm,
can give the example of my best friend is my family, my neighbor is part of my family, or my I grew up as a teacher. You can say I grew up with my grandmother, and I consider my grandmother being my mother. Or you can create a fake character or imagine a character that tells their story, and you can just draw a family tree where this character has doesn't have a mother but has so many aunties that care
mhm.
about them, or is so close to the teacher, you know, perpetuate that idea of trust. So that's how you could be inclusive in primary school.
So, as much then as you are trying to develop critical thinking in your students and learners and pupils, I guess that we have first to develop critical thinking in the teacher in the first place, because what I've noticed as a teacher is that when a new teacher, and that was my case too when I started teaching, when you are handed a textbook, you follow it to the letter. That is, you just keep the textbook in front of you and do what the textbook is saying. And it's only later on when you start to notice that there are certain inconsistencies or there are certain problems there in culturally, and you start to see clearly that this is not working in the way it is supposed to be working according to the curriculum designers or to the ministry, for example. But the problem is that that comes a bit too late. So what is your advice as a consultant, of course, to teachers to develop critical thinking based on the example that you have given of how to look at the family? But there are, of course, uh, dozens of other topics that they can look at and They are going to have all the time new textbooks that we are not asking them to analyze them as if they are consultants
Yeah.
or as if they are experts, but at least to notice what is on the surface and to, as we said, go beyond the textbook. So what are some skills or techniques that would help the teacher um, self-evaluate the textbook?
First, understand the heikel, the
Framework.
colonne vertébrale, the
Mm,
framework, the logic of that textbook. So, in the case of the Algerian textbooks, at least the ones I analyzed, they are organized according to grammar rules,
mm,
and then the themes come um, to habiller, to
mm,
dress up the everything turns around the grammar rules.
mm.